Welcome, everyone, to our comprehensive study guide. I'm absolutely thrilled to be your guide today. Now, as a senior banker myself, I know firsthand that compliance, well, it can sometimes feel like an endless maze of paperwork, right? But today, we're taking the RBI Master Direction on KYC and translating it from dry regulatory text into a practical, everyday toolkit for you. We're going to break down this essential framework so you can apply it directly to your branch operations, protect the financial system, and just do your job with total confidence. So let's dive right into this explainer.
Okay, let's look at our roadmap for today. We've got 6 main stops. First, framework and key definitions. Second, customer acceptance and ID. Third, due diligence and ownership. Fourth, politically exposed persons. Fifth, digital and video KYC. And finally, number 6, updation and record management. Let's get moving.
Our authoritative source for this entire journey is the Reserve Bank of India itself, specifically the Master Direction updated through 2024. We're relying exclusively on this official text. Why? Because we want to ensure your knowledge is completely accurate, strictly by the book, and perfectly tailored for your daily regulatory reporting duties. No guesswork here.
All right, Section 1, Framework and Key Definitions, focusing on applicability and terms.
According to Chapter 1, Paragraph 2, these rules aren't just polite suggestions. They are absolutely mandatory for all regulated entities. And that means commercial banks, urban cooperative banks, NBFCs, and yes, even payment system providers. Basically, whether you're at a massive commercial bank or a local NBFC, these guidelines form our primary collective bulwark against money laundering and the financing of terrorism.
Now, a crucial part of our job is knowing exactly what we can accept from a customer. In Chapter I, Paragraph 3, we define our most critical tool, the Officially Valid Document, or OVD. Now listen, this is a strictly closed list. It includes a passport, driving license, Aadhaar proof, voter ID, NREGA card, and the NPR letter. That's it. If a customer tries to hand you a gym membership or utility bill, you've got to politely hand it right back. If it isn't on this specific list, it is not an OVD, period.
Also in Chapter 1, we define a term you're going to encounter constantly, the beneficial owner, or BO. Identifying the actual flesh and blood human being behind a corporate veil is a completely non-negotiable step in financial integrity. You know, criminals love to hide behind shell companies and complex trust structures. The BO is the person who ultimately pulls the strings, exercises control, or holds the controlling ownership interest. It's our job to find out exactly who that human is.
Moving on to Section 2, Customer Acceptance and ID, covering onboarding rules.
Citing Chapter 3, Paragraph 10, our Customer Acceptance Policy, or CAP, lays down the absolute ground rules. First and foremost, no anonymous or fictitious Benami accounts, ever. We also have to ensure a customer's identity doesn't match any sanctioned lists before we even think about onboarding them. And this beautifully illustrates the importance of the Unique Customer Identification Code, the UCIC. We apply customer due diligence at the UCIC level. Meaning, if an existing customer with full KYC comes back to open a new fixed deposit, they don't face repeated, redundant checks. It saves us a mountain of paperwork and provides a way better experience for them. Oh, and remember, if you need additional info beyond the standard policy, you must get the customer's explicit consent.
When executing the customer identification procedure from Chapter V, the requirements really scale with complexity. For individuals, per paragraph 16, it's pretty straightforward: an OVD or Aadhaar, a PAN card or Form 60, and a recent photo. But when we get to legal entities, the paperwork rigorously increases. Companies need incorporation certificates, their memorandum and articles of association, and board resolutions to legally establish their existence. Partnerships and trusts similarly require their specific deeds and registration certificates. We've got to collect these specific certified copies.
Section 3, Due Diligence and Ownership, where we assess risk.
So, while standard customer due diligence is fine for walk-in customers, Chapter 6, Paragraph 40 dictates that non-face-to-face onboarding automatically triggers enhanced due diligence, or EDD. Since we don't meet the customer physically, the risk naturally goes up. Therefore, EDD mandates extra verification steps before the account is fully active. This means verifying the current address through positive confirmation, like a welcome letter or contact point verification, and ensuring the very first transaction comes from an existing KYC-complied bank account belonging to that customer.
But what about finding those beneficial owners?
Honestly, sometimes drilling down into corporate structures feels exactly like opening Russian nesting dolls. Thankfully, Chapter I, Paragraph 3 sets clear percentage thresholds to identify who truly controls the funds. For companies, partnerships, and trusts, the magic number is more than 10% of shares, capital, or profits. For unincorporated associations, it jumps to more than 15%. If a natural person hits these thresholds, boom, they are your beneficial owner.
Section 4. Politically exposed persons. Looking at high-risk profiles.
Let's pause for a second and ask a really critical question. How does the RBI specifically define a PEP, and why does this status automatically trigger enhanced scrutiny in our branch?
Well, according to Chapter 6, Paragraph 41, PEPs are individuals who are or have been entrusted with prominent public functions by a foreign country. We're talking heads of state, senior politicians, senior government, judicial or military officers, and senior executives of state-owned corporations. And here is a vital detail you absolutely cannot overlook. This rigorous definition extends to the family members and close associates of these individuals too. Because of their powerful positions, opening an account for a PEP carries significantly higher risk and requires 4 strict steps. First, you've got to identify them using your risk management systems. Then, and this is a big one, you must take reasonable measures to establish their source of funds and wealth. Next, you definitely cannot open this account on your own. Getting senior management approval is absolutely mandatory. Finally, once the account is open, it's subjected to enhanced ongoing monitoring to watch for any unusual activity.
On to Section 5. Digital and Video KYC. Exploring remote onboarding.
The Video Customer Identification Process, or VCIP, outlined in Chapter 6, Paragraph 18, is actually treated on par with face-to-face identification, but only if it's done flawlessly. It has to be a seamless, live audio-visual interaction with the customer's informed consent. The official has to capture a live photograph. If you're using offline Aadhaar verification via XML or a secure QR code, that code cannot be older than 3 days. And finally, the official must capture a clear image of the PAN card and ensure the customer's face on camera matches the IDs perfectly. No room for error here.
Now, if offline verification fails or can't be carried out, Annex I details the digital KYC process. And guys, this isn't just snapping a picture on a smartphone. It strictly requires using a controlled, authenticated application provided by the regulated entity. The app captures a live photo of the customer and their original document and immediately embeds a watermark. This watermark is completely non-negotiable. It has to include GPS coordinates, the exact date and time, and the employee's unique code to definitively prove exactly where and when the verification happened. This drastically cuts down on fraud.
Finally, Section 6, Updation and Record Management. This is the ongoing life cycle.
To keep our risk mitigated over time, Paragraph 38 of Chapter 6 mandates risk-based periodic updation. You have to update records at least once every 2 years for high-risk customers, every 8 years for medium risk, and every 10 years for low-risk customers. Now, if there's no change in a low-risk customer's information, a simple self-declaration through digital channels or an email is often perfectly sufficient.
To promote financial inclusion for folks who might lack full documentation, we can open small accounts. But as per Chapter 6, Paragraph 23, they come with incredibly strict volume limits to prevent misuse. Total credits cannot exceed 1 lakh rupees in a single year. The balance can never exceed 50,000 rupees at any point in time. And withdrawals? Capped at 10,000 rupees a month. These accounts require your close, continuous monitoring and are initially valid for only 12 months.
Wrapping up with our record management duty, found in Chapter 7, Paragraph 46. We must meticulously preserve all transaction and KYC records for at least 5 years. This is so much more than just a filing exercise. It's exactly what allows regulators and law enforcement to reconstruct financial trails during critical investigations.
I want to leave you with this final thought. Mastering the KYC Master Direction isn't just about passing your internal audits. It is quite literally the frontline defense protecting our entire economy from money laundering and terror financing. If a sophisticated financial criminal walked into your branch tomorrow, would your current KYC practices stop them in their tracks? I really hope this explainer has equipped you with the knowledge to ensure the answer is a resounding yes. Stay vigilant out there, and thank you so much for joining me on this compliance journey.